What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This episode we're going to be doing the Fender Rolling on the Z31 Turbo and the radiator fan as well. I got the Fender roller in finally, so we're going to have to unbox that, assemble it, and just take our time and do it right. I got to tell you, I am quite nervous doing this. I've never done it before. I don't want to mess the body of the car up, and so I'm going to have to just take my time and make sure I do it right. And I've been taking my time as well, you know, cleaning up the whole shop, getting everything nice and clean. And I got all my parts in the back here now. I got aisles set up so that I can grab parts as I go with the projects. And got an aisle here, a walkway, aisle there, a little bit of a walkway, an aisle. And basically I've kind of put all my parts in this area. And those of y'all that follow my channel, y'all know that I have a Honda EK hatch that I was building, and I got a lot of builds going on, and sometimes I get a little overwhelmed because I take in a lot, and you know, it is what it is. But the EK hatch, you know, where I left off, I sent it to the wrap shop, and I got it back a while ago, and I was gonna do, you know, I was gonna hold off showing anything, but you know, it is what it is. Those of y'all watching this channel right now, I'm gonna give y'all a little sneak peek at the car, and there y'all go. She's back from the wrap shop, and I think she looks sick. Got the side skirts on it with my logo. Max Speeding Rod did sponsor this car. They gave me quite a bit of parts for it, so I got the logo going on. JT Graphics is the one who wrapped it. He sponsored the car as well, so he hooked me up with a really big discount on the wrap job. So you know, he's got his graphics on it as well, and I think she came out pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie, I like the way it looks. It's an eye catcher for sure, and hopefully I can get to getting back to this project pretty soon. But Z31 Turbo is what we're gonna focus on this, and I gotta tell you, I'm a little nervous about it. So let's unbox this. We're gonna make sure we do it right and take our time, and hopefully I don't mess this up. Alright, so she's all assembled, and it was pretty easy. I didn't even look at the instructions. I just looked at the front picture and put it all together. But it looks like these little spacers here for the lug nuts, and you got some adjustments here, you got a slider there, and you got your adjustment there, so you can make it all fit and make it work in the wheel well. So now we gotta get these wheels off of it, and after we get the wheels off, we'll mount it on there. And I'm gonna start with the rears, and then we'll get the fronts done. And I haven't come up with a game plan yet as far as the weather guard goes. I like to retain it as much as I can just to keep the weather and elements out of the fenders. So let's go ahead, get these wheels off, get this thing mounted up, and see where we're at. Alright, so I got it mounted up to the hub. It's pretty straightforward. You have little acorn spacers. They're concave so that the lug fits in there nice and neatly, and it positions it onto the hub. I did leave this one off because the thread on the edge is a little jacked up. I didn't want to mess up the lug because I thought I had the die to retrace the thread, but I don't, so it'll work the way it is. And I have this thing extended all the way in, and with the car lowered the way it is, that it's just got enough to catch it. So hopefully I could start it with this. I don't want to go messing with the suspension just yet. So we're gonna have to take the heat gun and heat this area, the inner lip, so that the paint softens up and we don't chip it. And hopefully I don't heat it up so much that it takes this plastic trim off. Now it is starting to come off. If it does start to come off from the heat gun, I'm just going to take it off. I'm going to have to do some research on how to get this adhesive off. I think WD-40 and the buffer should do that, but I need to take the trim off, but I just don't want to do it just yet. But anyway, that's how it is with these projects, you know. You think that it's going to be straightforward, and usually it's not. And that's been the case with the Z31. So I'm expecting it. I'm expecting a struggle. It's always a struggle, always. But you know, just gotta roll with the punches, man. So let me get my heat gun out, and we will get that thing sorted. All right, so I did a hack. Basically, I just unbolted the coilovers from the lower control arms, and I dropped it that way, and I used the stands to bring the control arms back up, just to give me the angle that I need, because I need to start more at an upright position to start the bend, and this way I can get a proper bend started on it and then work it in, and hopefully, you know, I can do so without warping the fender. So let me heat this up, and then we'll start rolling it and see how the outcome is. Alright, so I got this side tucked in for the most part, and as you can see, this is the factory width right here, and as it goes right there, it's folded up. I could get a little bit more aggressive with it, but I want to see how it does at first, because as you can see, it's folded up. You see the inside of the arch, you can see the paint of the lip as I folded it, so it's rolled up there. And I learned a couple things along the way. Is you want this wheel to be more at a relaxed angle when you start the bend, to get it to start bending up, and then as you go, you start increasing the pressure on it with this lever here, and you keep doing it. Now it will get tighter as you roll it towards this side and that side, so start with this part first, bending it up, and then go to this side and work it right here a little bit, and then that side and work it a little bit, and then readjust for the upper arch. So you got to do it in those stages like that, and in between the sweeps you want to make sure you use the heat gun to keep the paint nice and warm, so you don't chip any of the paint. And that seemed to be the best method for me. So learned a couple things. That's cool. So it ain't as bad as I thought, but you just got to take your time with it. And I think this is pretty good for the most part. And I'll have to see once I put the wheels on, but I might just give it a little bit more, because there still is a little bit of room to tuck it in more. You can see up here, I still have a little bit to tuck it, but it's not too bad, you know, it's not too bad. So let's go ahead, we'll do the other side, and then we will get the fronts done. Alright, so the rears are done. I went and made an extra pass on this side as well. I got it tucked up as much as I can. It's almost touching on the inside, but it's nice and tucked. And on the other side as well, nice and tucked. So these are done. And I was looking at the front here, trying to develop a game plan. And it looks like I can retain this. I can still bend it in a little bit, but enough to use this fastener. And these right here. And that can hold it in place, but I'm probably gonna have to cut along this line right here and then roll this so I can still use the fender guard as much as possible. And the same on the other side, basically same approach, and see how well that turns out. But I did notice something on the rear. My damn brake calipers are leaking, both of them. Got a leak here and also got a leak over here. It's moist. So I looked online. They're hard to find replacement calipers, but there's a rebuild kit. So I'm gonna order the rebuild kit and rebuild these calipers, because this one drags. I mean, it really drags. Yeah, it's dragging. So no bueno, man. I'm always running into issues. So I'm gonna have to get that going, get some rebuild kits for that so I can rebuild them. But we're gonna go ahead now and tackle this side. I'm gonna start with the fender liner. We're gonna get that out, and then we'll start rolling it and see how it ends up in the end. So let's go ahead and start that. All right, same situation with the front. It's too low. I'm not gonna jack with the coilover adjustment, so I'm just gonna undo the top mounts and let it hang and support it with the stands like I did with the rear, and get my height that way, and we'll go ahead and roll these fenders and get this job done. All right, so we got it all mounted up and we got the clearance we need. So basically what I did was I unbolted the top mount and I dropped it on the stand right here, and I got it to where it's just barely sitting in the holes up there to drop it far enough down to give me the clearance I need in order to make this all work. So it's a lot quicker and easier than you know, loosening the coilovers and adjusting them to make it all work and then putting them back. So anyway, we got this all figured out. So let's go ahead, roll these fenders, and then we'll figure out the linings and then get the wheels back on. All right, so we got the front fenders rolled now, and it was not as hard as the rear because, for one, the metal is a lot thinner and the lip was a lot shorter, so it was pretty easy for me to do that. And whenever I was rolling it, if you could see in a time lapse, it was flexing it, so I was just trying to make sure that I didn't bend it out of shape too much, even though I do have a ding right there. You know, I was looking at the inside edge too, and the paint was already cracked in a bunch of spots. This side I did use the heat gun, and it's still cracked and flaked right there if you can see it. So I'm just gonna take some paint and I'm gonna paint that just to coat it so we don't have any rust issues in the future. But nonetheless, the fronts and the rears are done now, so we can work next on the weather guard. And I was looking at the weather guard. Basically, it mounts like that. Get it in there. So where it's rolled at, I'm just gonna cut it back to where this can stay up there and it'll still protect it for the most part. I'm gonna cut the edge, and we'll use these 3 mounts there, and I'm gonna bend this mount a little bit. Well, actually, I could fit that clip on it right there, and the way I'm gonna cut it, I could just use this and bend it and mount it using this tab that's still bent back there. I could still utilize it and mount it there. So we'll be cutting basically here up through like that, come back here, and then this will allow it to flex a lot easier, and it'll be able to mount up like that. And I think that'll be the solution to it all. and it'll be good to go. But since I have the weather guard out, I was looking to have some debris back here. I'm gonna take my vacuum cleaner, you know, clean all that out before I go ahead and mount up the fender liner. So I'm gonna make the cuts, we'll install it, and we'll put the wheels on and lower it down. From there, we just got the radiator fan to mount up and wire it in. And after that, man, she should be good. My inspection sticker is out on the front, so I need to get that inspection done. Probably do it tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm gonna have any clips of me driving the car on this episode. So that'll probably be another episode. I don't know yet. We'll just see how it goes, guys. But happy with the results, and let's go ahead and finish this thing off. I got it all painted up on the edge right there, so we ain't gonna have no more rust issues. And some of these plastic pieces, well, pretty much all the dang plastic pieces where the screws bolt into these little parts right here, they slide in, and then these screws fasten the weather guard to it. Now I trimmed this one back. As you can see, that's the driver's side, and this one is the passenger side. I trimmed it down, and I can't mount it up because all those plastic pieces are broken. So I need to go down to an auto parts store, and hopefully they have something to remedy that. But I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and mount up the wheels and drop it down, and we're gonna see how well the Fender Rolling fits with the tires. And from there, we'll move on to getting the radiator fan mounted up and getting it wired in. All right, it fits real good, man. I mean, there's plenty of room for the tire now to go up and clear. So, good to go on that. That seemed to do the trick. You can see up in there. Yeah. So that's just what it needed. This one, I don't know, maybe I gotta pull the fender a little bit more, but it's kind of right there. I don't know, it may clear. Let me see if I turn the steering wheel. Yeah, it's kind of cutting it close on the front. How you like my little custom mechanic glove, huh? Huh? For those with little hands? Not my hands. Although sometimes working in tight spots, I wish I had hands like that. Okay, that'll give me a better idea. Okay. Woo! I don't know. That's cutting it close. No, that's gonna hit. Yeah, that's straight up gonna hit right there. Yep, that will hit. Yeah, that's gonna hit. So I'm gonna need some 255s instead of some 265s for the front. The 265s in the rear clear just fine. I don't know, I may just have to, for the time being, just raise the front ride height just a little bit to get me the clearance that I need. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's gonna hit. Yeah, that's definitely gonna hit. Wow, okay, well, I can either pull the fenders more or get some 255s. I don't know how much more I could pull the fenders though. Does look good though. Wow. Tight fitment. The rears are just fine though. Plenty of room. Okay, well, I'm gonna move on. I gotta get the radiator fan mounted up in the front. We gotta get it wired in. I have a Mishimoto slim fan here. Right there. So we got a slim line Mishimoto fan for the front radiator. I have a Mishimoto HD fan in the back, but it's not enough to pull air through both of them. I mean, I could put, you know, something to seal it off right here, and that would allow it to pull more air through the front. But the best way to remedy that is to put that radiator fan right here in the front. That one will push, this one pulls, and problem solved. So we do have to wire it in, and I think I probably just will go parallel off of this, and that way the relay can turn both of them on. So I'm gonna have to figure the wiring out on that. So let's go ahead and get this radiator fan mounted up in the front, and I need to find the zip ties for that real quick. She's dusty. Man, that's one thing about Amarillo, guys, is the wind is always blowing out here, and it carries the dust, and we have been in a little bit of a drought lately. As you can see, all the dust, it just gets everywhere. Cool. All right, man, let's go ahead, let me find my zip ties, and we will mount that radiator fan up in the front.